Hi, this is Jason, and welcome to another Daemon Adventure. If you've seen our past videos, you're familiar with our 2013 Trail Teams Edition FJ Cruiser, or Colonel Casey, as we've come to call her. You've also seen us stuck in the mud enough that we knew it was time to add some clearance and some self-recovery capabilities. Enter Mainline Overland in Westchester, Pennsylvania. Working with the staff at MLO, we opted for the Smittybilt M1 bumper to mount our XRC Gen 3 12K winch and an Old Man Emu 3-inch lift suspension to allow room for the 33-inch BFG KO2 all-terrain tires. We went with this typical FJ build to balance off-road performance with our daily driver needs. We dropped Casey off on a Monday and hoped beyond hope that we'd have all the work done in time for Mainline's Mid-Atlantic Overland Festival that kicked off the following Thursday in central Pennsylvania. The folks at MLO kept us informed through the process, and she was ready Wednesday afternoon, so we packed up and hit the road. But then on our way to the festival, pieces started falling off. Stick around to see what happened and the great time we had during the event.
Overland Festival!
So the trip started out without a problem. The new suspension was running smooth, and we were ready for our first overlanding event. And then, as many other FJ owners have experienced, a thwack sound and a bunch of rattling around up top, and we had to pull over. The windshield trim broke almost entirely off and was hung on by just a little piece. So I snapped it back on, added some duct tape, and we continued on. It lasted for a few miles until eventually it ripped completely off. Well, that's something we'll have to fix after the festival. So with that all out of the way, we continue our 4-hour journey north from Wilmington, Delaware to Huntington, PA, a little south from Bald Eagle State Forest. Once we got checked in and into the camping area, we picked a spot that would have more impact on our week than we could have possibly imagined. For this trip, we used our typical 10x10 canopy mounted tent and the kids' personal 2-person tents. But by the end of the festival, we would be eyeing up what other folks use and begin forming ideas for our long-term camping and overlanding plans. But more on that another time. The first scheduled item on the festival agenda that we took part in was a tour of the property, a 220-acre working hay farm in the beautiful hills of central Pennsylvania. We gathered at the base of the challenge course with a bunch of other rigs, and we waited to see what they had in store for us.
There's our campsite. Bye, campsite. Oh, we're gonna drive right by it. Hi, neighbors.
Ron, there's a sprinter with us too, so you know. Copy that, Mike. Thank you.
Going down. totally a water crossing. Totally counts.
The property was absolutely beautiful. The ride took us around the entire place and introduced us to some of the on-property trails. Some more on the technical side, some on the narrow side. We looked forward to exploring them all. As the half-hour ride concluded, we headed down to the food trucks for Brazilian burritos, and then headed down for the stargazing talk.
Let me see if I can show you. So when you think about color, and I say red, you're probably thinking about this right about here. Well, this is a chart with red at 100% saturation, and here's blue.
Ever since our time at Cherry Springs State Park, the kids have been fascinated with the stars and stargazing. And after this evening, they're on a constant search for Cassiopeia. It's always great to have the kids interested in looking up instead of looking down into a screen. We planned easy meals for this trip so that we could spend more time experiencing the event. As we made our coffee the next morning and heated up our pre-prepared breakfast burritos, we got to know our neighbors some. To one side was a lovely couple who'd attended the event for a number of years. They were there in their camper trailer with their two small dogs. The kids were enamored with them and sort of adopted them as camp grandparents. To the other side, our one neighbor moved to be with friends, but we would catch up with him again later. But then a young family joined us, and they too would become friends for this trip. As introverts, I wasn't going to let myself be the barrier to meeting other folks, and everyone we met was fantastic.
This is what happens when Mommy forgets her hairbrush. We use Reese's.
After breakfast, we had planned to check out some of the classes, but with our new neighbors all settled in, we chose to tag along on a repeat of yesterday's tour, this time with Anna at the wheel. We're glad we joined, because from there we went exploring and found the best trail of the trip that we could lead another group through later. The Rock Pile Trail would let us give our new vehicle modifications a good test run. The second visit to the property vista was just as beautiful. The weather couldn't have been better, and you could see for miles. But from this point, the fun really began. We followed the caravan back to camp, then joined our new friends on some unscripted exploration, and that's where we checked out the Rock Pile Trail. As we approached the trail, there was this 30-degree incline to the left. I'm pretty sure there's a requirement to drive up a hill like that. Now at this point, I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into. Remember, we just got the lift and tires. We haven't driven many technical trails where clearance was a concern. We would typically opt to go around obstacles in question, so this was new territory. Driving a stock height ridgeline, Ian let Kevin in his Jeep and myself go first. He would later bring up the rear. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm about to drive over that.
He wants to hit that one with his left.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll let you do all the God there, Kevin. I'll stay out of it.
What Kevin meant there by pointing to the right is that he wanted me to turn to the right. And sure enough, that did the trick.
Well, he's good.
As we began advancing through the trail, some folks from MLO popped up and helped spot. This one rock gave me some trouble. Yes, I could have gone around it, or just popped over it with some oomph, but it was also good to learn the limitations of that independent front suspension and the lack of a front locker. This is why you go to a festival like this, to learn.
Turn a little bit more. All right, right there. Give it some gas. Give it gas. Give it gas. Up. And
Yeah.
there you go. You're over. Yep, you're good. So you're just going to do the same thing with the rear. The rear, just following it over. Yep. Give it a little gas. Hitch up. All right, slow down. You're up. Now you're
And of course, with that rear locker, the back end just glided right over.
go. Yeah. So you're coming up. Yep. There you go. Perfect. Coming down now, nice and slow. Easy peasy. So, yep. My wife's here, I'm playing. How was that? My wife's here.
Once the rock pile section was passed, the remainder of the trail weaved up some hills and through some trees, but we were warned about a log at the end that we would need to get over. The concern was the steps on the FJ slider. They would definitely make things interesting.
Did you see the something coming up on the left?
Again, here, I could have gone around the log, but that's no fun.
Oh.
Can you go in reverse?
Yeah, no, you're stuck on the step. You're on the step. You're not going to be able to reverse, Jay.
Yeah, you gotta go forward.
You got to go forward.
That tree spun right under him. Oh, the tree to go forward.
It slid out a good bit under you too.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I felt it move. Go for it.
Yep. Said he's watching you noodling.
So yeah, give it a try. If not, we'll winch you that way to get that tire over. Hold on. You might get over right there. He might catch you. If he keeps it hard to drive, give it a little, give it nice and slow. Even.
There you go. You got it.
Smooth. Nice. There you go. One more. See if you can back up a tad. Oh, stop. Okay, now you're gonna give it a good goose. Yeah, give it a little bit of juice.
Woo!
You want to do it? Can you put it back?
And then we put the log back for the next person to have fun.
We can just kind of pivot it.
Leave it better than you found it, right?
Harder than we found it? Yeah, that one's way harder.
So that was some of the most fun we've had in the FJ. With the trail complete, we headed back to camp for a quick dinner and then checked out some of the folks running the challenge course. We decided we weren't quite ready to take the course on, but there's always next year. Then later that night, we hung out by the bonfire and chatted with some other attendees, built some friendships, and finalized some plans for a group ride the next day.
Gentleman means a boy. Ladies is girls.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The grass is on fire.
Oh no.
As we retreated to our tents for a night's sleep, the skies were so clear, the moon was so bright that the inside of our tent, even at 3 a.m., was as if someone else's headlights were still on. That wasn't the case because I checked. Saturday morning started with another quick breakfast, and I know we need to up our coffee game. But we relaxed for a bit, and the kids played with the little ones next door, and we looked forward to a group ride that afternoon. We would be joining our first neighbor, Mike, who caught up with his friends yesterday, and also joined with Tim from Darkside Off-Road. First, we took a quick spin through the vendor booths for a t-shirt, some stickers, and for some maps from Purple Lizard, which will definitely come in handy on later trips. Coming out to the festival, we had hoped to meet some other folks doing the whole YouTube thing. Tim's been recording his adventures through New York and Pennsylvania, and we've enjoyed his content for almost a year, so it was really cool to be able to tag along and get to know him some.
But
You gonna lead us astray?
no, I think he gave me a pretty good route. Unfortunately, we can't do a bunch of these dirt roads. They're just maintenance roads.
Ultimately, Tim would map a route just west of Rothrock State Forest, through a few of the state parks, and overlapping some of the greater Trans-American Trail, ending with our guiding the group through the Rock Pile Trail from yesterday. We had our snacks, and we were ready to roll.
Lunch of champions. Good?
Great.
Great. Ooh, good.
With Tim, Mike, and the rest of the gang, we knew it would be a great afternoon.
spillway. Good job. Oh, the butterfly almost landed on you. There's a big butterfly. You learning how to drive so you can fly ours when we get one? Okay, cool. What book is that? Two kittens.
My man. Ethan, what side? FJ goes first. Yes, sir.
So after 3 hours of road time, enjoying the parks, the trails, and the company, we return to the Rock Pile Trail. And I'm totally going to beat the log this time.
t-shirt for all you guys that says the struggle is real.
Right? That'd be a good idea.
Here's that fun log. Here I go.
Harder than we found it?
All right, I thought I was doing good. Here we go again.
Harder than we found it?
All right, here we go.
Take it with you. Max tracks. Take it back to the can.
A souvenir. I would totally put it in the garden somewhere. I think that seals the deal. We need to get rid of the steps.
Step off.
I already took mine off.
Justin, that's why we took it off. That's why we took your step off. Nothing like real-time trail modifications, right? I appreciate you moved it for me.
Right?
Yeah, moved it for me.
Well, we actually moved it out here the first time, and then we literally picked it up and moved it back.
Oh, right.
We got something we can stick under the front tire to drive over?
Nice. Can we pull it? Can we pull it out?
Oh no, I've got that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're not even touching the other step. All right, just everybody stay clear of that log.
Operation remove log complete.
Stay there. Stay there. Or that.
That was time. I think he got it on video. That was quick. Both of them at the same time.
Go out.
Who else? We'll put it back. I'll use my we can put it back in a second.
Let's put it back.
Okay.
Okay, now everyone.
That was all you.
That was, yeah. That was
Woo!
Yeah.
Tell me how awesome that was. Oh, come on. That was a pretty awesome day. We led everyone back to camp, had some barbecue in celebration of MLO's 10-year anniversary, attended the film festival, live music, and before you knew it, it was morning and we were packing up camp. And that's a wrap for Daemon Adventures' first Overlanding Festival, and you can bet it won't be our last. We look forward to staying in touch with our new friends and joining Mainland Overland for their 2023 festival. To all those that helped plan and hold the event, thank you, as well as to those who helped out on the trails, the food and facilities, and especially to the couple next to us who temporarily adopted our kids from time to time. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can join the next Daemon adventure.